I'll let you turn to Daniel chapter 8. Took a little break from Daniel last week. And I got baptized. It was cute. Tracy's little nephew was here, and he says, Aunt Tracy got sanitized. So a little bit of a running joke. What's that? She's been sanitized. So in a way, though, that's the same thing, right? So I don't know if we'll ever call it sanitism. But baptized and sanitized. That sounds like a sermon someplace. That was cute. And so, but in Daniel chapter 8, you're going to read verses 15 to 27. While I, Daniel, was watching the vision and trying to understand it, there before me stood one who looked like a man. I heard a man's voice calling from the Ulite Canal, Gabriel, tell this man the meaning of the vision. As he came near the place where I was standing, I was terrified and fell prostrate. Son of man, he said to me, understand that the vision concerns the time of the end. While he was speaking to me, I was in a deep sleep, with my face to the ground. Then he touched me and raised me to my feet. He said, I'm going to tell you what will happen later in the time of wrath, because the vision concerns the appointed time of the end. The two-horned ram that you saw represents the kings of Media and Persia. The shaggy goat is the king of Greece, and the large horn between his eyes is the first king. The four horns that replace the one that was broken off represent four kingdoms that will emerge from his nation but will not have the same power. In the latter part of his reign, where rebels have become completely wicked, a stern-faced king, a master of intrigue, will arise. He will become very strong, but not by his own power. He will cause astounding devastation and will succeed in whatever he does. He will destroy the mighty men and the holy people. He will cause deceit to prosper, and he will consider himself superior. When they feel secure, he will destroy many and take his stand against the prince of princes. And he will be destroyed, but not by human power. The vision of the evenings and mornings that has been given you is true, but seal it up for the vision. Seal up the visions where it concerns the distant future. I, Daniel, was exhausted and lay ill for several days. Then I got up and went about the king's business. I was appalled by the vision. It was beyond understanding. As we get to chapter 8, it was a little long to read the whole thing. So we again see that the vision Daniel saw was before the lion's den experience. It was the third year of King Belshazzar. And if you remember, King Belshazzar died right after Daniel came out of the lion's den. So this is the first part of Daniel's history. The second part of Daniel was Daniel's visions and dreams. And so it happened within the first part of Daniel. So I'm going to summarize, I would say quickly, but it won't be quick. I'm going to summarize the vision Daniel saw, and then we'll get to the interpretation. Daniel sees himself standing in the citadel of Susa. And Susa was one of the capitals of the Babylonian Empire, located in modern-day Iran. This is where all this is happening, over there in the part of the world you wouldn't want to be in, unless you were with a whole bunch of other guys ready to do something important. But Susa was one of the capitals, and Daniel sees himself in a very important place. Imagine if you had a dream and you saw yourself standing in the middle of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. That's obviously something important. That's an important place. Also, maybe a place, I'm not sure if you want to find yourself in Washington, D.C. or not. But in any indication, you're seeing something pretty significant that has ramifications for what's going on in your world that day. And Daniel sees himself right there in the Capitol building. Significant. Daniel sees a ram with two really long horns, one longer than the other, but the other one grew up later. And I remember a horn is a symbol of power and authority. The bigger the horn, the more power and authority. And he sees them standing beside this Ulite Canal, and he watches, and the ram charges towards the west, the north, and the south. And nothing can stand, no animal can stand against him, none can rescue from his power. The ram did whatever he pleased and became great. And as Daniel begins to think about this, something else happens. And all of a sudden, a goat with a prominent horn between his eyes comes from the west, crossing the whole earth without touching the ground. Okay, and all those goats are flying off, so he's crossing the whole earth without touching the ground, which means he's getting done quickly. The goat charges the two-horned ram with great rage, striking the ram and shattering its two horns. Now, anybody who knows anything knows a goat wouldn't stand up to a ram. Just wouldn't happen in real life. But this one does. See, it's a vision. There's other stuff going on, and the ram was powerless as the goat took him to the ground and trampled. Now the goat goes on to become very great. That's significant. They say he's very great. But at the height of his power, his large horn was broken off. And in its place, 4 prominent horns grew up toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of these horns came another, which was small, but grew to the south, to the east, toward the beautiful land. And it grew until it reached the host of heaven, and it threw some of the starry host down to the earth and trampled them. It set itself up to be as great as the prince of the host, and took away the daily sacrifice from him at the place of the sanctuary. And the place of the sanctuary was brought low. It prospered in everything it did. And David tells us in verse 12 that truth was thrown to the ground. Now, that if you weren't sure by now that there was evil happening, when you see the truth thrown to the ground, it's a very good indication that evil is happening. Because evil has a real problem with the truth. We can't be afraid to speak the truth. Evil people aren't going to like that. And they're going to call us all kind of names. You can't be afraid to speak the truth. Then Daniel heard a holy one ask another holy one, how long will it take for this vision to be fulfilled? Isn't that always the question? We always want to know, when's it going to happen? That's just human nature. And he answered a simple 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be reconstructed. And as Daniel was watching this vision and trying to understand it, there before him stood one that looked like a man. And Daniel hears a man's voice coming up from the canal, calling out, understand that the vision concerns the time of the end. And Daniel was in a deep sleep. This guy was speaking with his face to the ground. And this guy touched him and raised him to his feet. He said, I'm going to tell you what will happen in the time of wrath, because the vision concerns the appointed time of the end. Now, the key question that you should ask yourself at this point, the end of what? And so most people jump right to the end of time. That's natural. That's what people want to know. When they want to know about the end, the very, very end. But that's not what it means at all. At all. Daniel's vision concerns the end of the temple age. For the Jewish people, I've been trying to think for the last couple of weeks of what we have in our society that we can compare to how they view the temple, and we don't have anything in our society that we hold so sacred that we would lay it all down. The temple was all that they cared about. And in the time of Daniel, remember, they were in exile. They were not able to worship in their temple. They just weren't there. And the temple was all that mattered. And the evil crowd believed that if they could destroy the temple, because remember what the temple was. The temple housed God's presence on earth. If they could destroy the temple, they believed that they could destroy God's presence on earth. The evil crowd really believed that. They could remove God's presence from the earth. The Jewish nation held the temple so sacred because they believed that if the temple wasn't there, God's presence wouldn't be with them anymore. So that's what they mean by the end of God, the end of the temple age. They wanted things to end. Because God started it. And God has started it, and God's going to finish it. But we sometimes in our humanness think that we can do things. Evil people really don't have a stop mode, do they? When somebody's bent on evil, it's not that it's hard to stop them, but it's hard to get them to give up. They're relentless. So when Jesus shows up and says, and he starts talking about the temple, they said, if they destroy this temple, he'll rebuild it in 3 days. They were furious. Obviously, he couldn't physically rebuild a structure in 3 days. But he was referring to himself. Because who was Jesus? God's presence on earth. Jesus' presence here made the temple redundant and therefore not necessary. Because Jesus is Emmanuel, God with us. The temple doesn't need to exist. And every evil soul that has existed or ever will exist has one goal, and that's to remove God's presence from the earth in any way they can. Well, that's impossible, but evil doesn't recognize that. That's why they attempted to destroy the temple. That's why they killed Jesus. And that's why there are groups today who continuously try to remove any reference from God from any and all places. It's simple. They're evil. They're jerks. And they're evil. And they're bent on evil. And they're bent on removing God from the equation altogether. And if you're a believer in Jesus Christ and you're filled with the Holy Spirit and God's presence dwells in you, and because of that, you have a large list of enemies, people who hate you and want to destroy you. And if they tell you otherwise, they're lying to you. And if there's one thing Satan's good at, it's lying. Big time. He's the father of lies. He's incapable of telling the truth. The best he can do is try to make his lie look really good, sound like the truth, and get people to believe it. And unfortunately, what you see on TV a lot, when people, you watch the news, you see people believing evil stuff. You know, it's simple, it's annoying, but it's simple. They hate you and they want to destroy you. Now, they won't tell you that to your face. But evildoers want to destroy us because the presence of God dwells in us. And back to Daniel's vision, and then we'll see how this stuff connects. This two-horned animal represents the kings, we're told represents the kings of Media and Persia. The second horn grew larger to show the dominance of Persia in the Medo-Persian Empire. And eventually, you can see this coming. Anytime there's an empire that has two names in, Medo-Persian Empire, eventually, somewhere along the way, one of them's going to think that they're better than the other. That's just how it goes. Empires don't share well. One's going to try to take over the other one. And Persia eventually did take over. But then the shaggy goat represents the king of Greece. The goat is the symbol of Greece, who ends up being, remember they called him very great. Well, I don't know how well you know your history. If you remember your history pretty well, there was a guy named Alexander at that time who became known as Alexander the Great. Now, all those people were pretty special in their day, but Alexander's the only one that carries the name Alexander the Great. But all of a sudden, Alexander, he died all of a sudden, very mysteriously in his early 30s, at the height of his power, as Daniel's vision said. And his kingdom was split 4 ways. So hence the 4 horns were replaced, the last one was broken off. And historically, these kings end up being King Ptolemy I of Egypt and Palestine, Seleucus of Babylonia and Syria, Lysimachus of Asia Minor, and Antipater of Macedonia and Greece. And so that's usually what happens when a kingdom breaks apart. You know, they don't share well. So each guy takes his own portion and does all these things. All these kings were powerful, but none were ever as powerful as Alexander the Great. And actually, that's why they call him Alexander the Great. They don't call him that for nothing. There's not Alexander the Semi-Great, or Joe the Good, or guy the Mediocre. It's Alexander the Great. And the last horn who emerged, that Daniel mentions in verse 9, he started small, but grew, is the guy from verse 23, a stern-faced king, the master of intrigue. He becomes very strong, but not by his own power. And he causes astounding devastation and will succeed in whatever he does. He'll destroy the mighty men and holy people. He will cause the seat to prosper, and he will consider himself superior. And Daniel 8:25 goes on to say, when they feel secure, he will destroy many and take his stand against the prince of princes. And that's the one thing, when just about the time you start to feel secure, boom, he's going to take his stand against the prince of princes. That's obviously going to be Jesus. Yet he will be destroyed, but not by human power. And this king is probably one of the most evil, when we say evil dictators, you tend to think of people like Hitler or Stalin, or more modern day, Osama bin Laden, but he really wasn't a dictator, he was just a terror leader. But this guy has probably been the most evil, corrupt man in the history of the world that most people have never heard of. His name's Antiochus Epiphanes. He was the 4th. And he did indeed cause astounding devastation, culminating in the desecration of the temple. And the daily sacrifices were literally stopped in the temple for 2,300 evenings more. That's almost 7 years, if you do the math. He desecrated the altar. And he forbid the Jews from doing anything in the temple until a fellow named Judas Maccabeus showed up and in 165 BC overthrew him and restored the temple. Ironically enough, this Antiochus Epiphanes IV died in 164 BC because he went insane. You see, that's what happens to evil. What they tell you the definition of insanity is attempting the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's evil, is it not? Evil, trying to eliminate God from the equation. And to take whatever angle we have, can God be eliminated from the equation? No. It's not possible. So evil's going to continue to try different things and expect what? A different result. So evil is insane. So when you see evil people, and you see people who are doing things that don't make sense, they're not cousins. They're evil and insanity kind of run together. You know, so this guy goes insane because it didn't work. Because if your goal is to get God out of the equation, you're going to fail. You know, it doesn't matter how many billions of dollars you raise. It doesn't matter how well funded you are. Or even if you control every political party that's ever come down on the face of the earth, evil won't win. It just won't. I mean, every now and then it kicks our butts a little bit, but it's not going to win. You see, because God's power and His justice is always prevailed. He's let their prospering times. Because our hope is not in human power, is it? Our hope is not in the kings of the earth. Our hope isn't in anybody other than the name of the Lord our God. Our hope is in the power that destroys this. Kings and kingdoms. We can't sing that song every Sunday, I guess, or we could. But kings and kingdoms will all pass away. But there's something about that name. And what we're watching sometimes is we're watching kings and kingdoms pass away. And it has. And it's going to continue to happen. But there's something about that name. Now, Daniel was told in verse 26 to seal up this vision because it concerns a distant future. Now, Daniel lives 500 years before Jesus. And these events will happen in a few hundred years, culminating in the eventual destruction of the temple. The temple was destroyed in AD 70. Hasn't existed since AD 70. So for almost 2,000 years, there's been no temple in Jerusalem. But there doesn't need to be a temple in Jerusalem. Because Jesus is the temple, and He's everywhere. But anyhow, do not seal later on in Revelation 22:10, when John is again seeing the exact same thing that Daniel saw. The end of the temple age, he's told, do not seal up the words of the prophet of this book, because the time is near. All of a sudden, what Daniel was seeing from a distance, John's seeing close up. Very close up. Very, very close up. Because John's seeing is somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 AD. And the temple gets destroyed in 70 AD. And so the warning is out there. The end is coming. So what Daniel is seeing happen when the destruction of Antiochus Epiphanes IV, it was going to happen again. The temple was destroyed. Not long after John's vision. The same way it was desecrated. And the daily sacrifices were stopped for good. They had not made a sacrifice in Jerusalem in the temple for 1,900 and some odd years. And there still isn't a temple in Jerusalem, but again, there doesn't need to be. There doesn't need to be daily sacrifices anymore because Jesus' sacrifice once and for all on the cross of Calvary covers it all. And that's a really good song that's been written about that. Calvary covers it all. Jesus paid it all. Jesus is God with us. The Holy Spirit is God's presence dwelling in and among us until Jesus returns and takes us to be with Him. And all the power that we need is in the blood of the Lamb. I mentioned earlier, our enemies are still working to remove God from the earth. And the only way they're successful, the only way they have a chance to be successful at all, is if we keep quiet about it. And if we keep quiet about it, guess what happens then? Then the rocks start crying out. Because even the stones know who God is. And not only do we not rely on human power, we're not afraid of human power either. As long as we have breath, we're going to seek to glorify the King of Kings and Lord of Lords with everything we do. And we'll do it not by human power, but by the power that is in the blood of the Lamb. I mean, there's every song in our hymn book we can stand up and sing right now. Just about every single one of them. Because there's power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. And if you're not sure, wait for it. Because, again, I said this last year. It seems like Tom must be having fun because time's flying. Last year's retreat, remember the Israelites were up against the Red Sea. They weren't sure what they were going to do. Up against the Red Sea, Pharaoh's army's coming. They weren't sure what to do, and they had all kinds of crazy ideas. And what did God do? At the last minute. And sometimes God waits to the last minute. I wait till the last minute sometimes too. Does that make you like God? No, sometimes I wait till the last minute because sometimes you just need all the minutes to make it happen. But sometimes God doesn't, He makes us wait till the last minute because He wants to know, are we trusting in Him or are we trusting in our own strength? I'm not strong enough to trust in my own strength. We trust and we rely on the blood of the Lamb. Let's pray. Father God, we thank You for the blood of the Lamb. We thank You, Lord, that Your sacrifice, Lord, all the things that we know and we love, we need to rely on that, Lord, in these days. And we don't know a whole bunch of other stuff. And Lord, it makes it hard. It makes it hard. Sometimes we don't realize how often we rely on our own strength because of our ability to know or find things out or figure things out. And when we can't do that, we get frustrated. We tend to try to find answers places where they're not. And Lord, so we're going to spend some time in prayer, seeking You, Lord, because You're the answer. We know You're the answer. And Lord, and we're going to wait. We're going to wait until we hear clearly from You. Because there's power only in You. There's power in the blood of the Lamb. Fill us with that power. Lord, this morning as we sing in your name. Amen.